Good afternoon, Year 8 staff and parents watching at home. It's lovely to see you all. I'll do my online video chat wave. Dr. Richards has invited me to say a few words about the young people sitting here today. Being here in the chapel, where we hold our assemblies, it's impossible not to think of what Year 8 know as Dr. Richards' favourite assembly word. Resilience! It's something we talk a lot about in school, and as a staff we discuss ways in which we can help our pupils develop this important life skill. What Year 8 have been handed this year has essentially been a crash course in exactly that. And I wanted to share with you my experience of working with Year 8 during the events of the past few months. Of all the year groups at school, this set of pupils have been arguably affected the most by the pandemic and the lockdown. We watched together at the end of Lent term as one by one, long anticipated events were cancelled. The Year 8 dinners, trips to Thorpe Park, London and Splashdown, the visiting speakers, common entrance, and then finally, school itself. Our Year 8 pupils, who had looked forward to this summer term for many years, saw all of their plans just fall away, and instead were faced with the prospect of leaving All Hallows without a proper goodbye, let alone any of the treats, privileges and rewards they had looked forward to. Meanwhile, I was faced with overcoming my own personal nemesis, computers. If any of you are Michael McIntyre fans, you might have seen his recent sketch with Fortune Teller, which my bubble have enjoyed watching and I highly recommend. I guess I would have been told, in 2020, you will learn more about IT in 2 weeks than you have done in 20 years, and you will plan the Year 8 summer timetable 3 different times, and in 3 totally different ways. So as a staff, we embarked upon the summer term not really knowing how things would go. I logged on to my first online tutor time, vaguely hoping that a couple of people would pop in at some point, and within 2 minutes of starting that meeting, almost the whole group had joined and were online. And this happened every single day for 8 weeks. That alone speaks volumes about our pupils. Year 8 adapted incredibly quickly to online school. We're going to humanities now, or we're over in Year 8 Kettera, became commonplace phrases as we navigated around teams. We monitored the pupils' engagement closely, and week after week, the figures remained near 100%. And this was not the national picture. And no, not every pupil completed every assignment, but they were all there, and together remained a community, sticking together as a group and actively reaching out to any friends who were struggling in their isolation, drawing them into group chats and online lessons. When Year 8 look back in years to come and people ask, what was your life like in lockdown 2020? They will be able to answer, we were part of All Hallows. Online school offered us new opportunities. We've all met each other's pets. We've seen some rather experimental hairstyles, had a good go at cooking meals, learnt an enormous amount about IT, and learnt some more important lessons too, about self-motivation, independence, and continuing to strive to challenge ourselves when our normal framework has been removed. Coming back to school has been fantastic, and not only because I now do not have to begin every single working day by being asked an unanswerable question, when are we going back to school? It has actually been heartwarming to see the pupils back on site, chatting with friends and lapping up the social interaction that, as they perhaps now realise, is just not quite the same online. We as staff fully understand that this was not the term the pupils were hoping for, but we have spoken about balancing disappointment with gratitude and focusing not on the restrictions of the bubble system, but on the positives of what can be enjoyed within it. In the competitive market of independent prep schools, it's indisputable that All Hallows provision has been outstanding. To have all pupils back on site has left other schools asking, how are you doing this? Of course, a phenomenal amount of work has gone on behind the scenes from the leadership team, and particularly Mrs. Mackenzie. But the fact is, we could not have done this and made this a success without having the pupils that we have. Pupils who genuinely want to come to school. Pupils who are respectful of the new rules put in place to keep them safe and of each other. Pupils who can set aside their disappointments and see the best in new opportunities on offer. Pupils whose bonds of friendship are meaningful. Pupils who feel they belong to a community. And perhaps, above all, pupils who can successfully adapt to a third different system of education in the space of just 3 months. If Dr. Richard's aim was to instill resilience in the young people we educate, then I believe we can resoundingly say, job done. Congratulations, Year 8. You've been amazing, and we wish you all